day? Oh, then we have the practice test. But we're almost at the last day of Unit 3. It's so exciting. Oh, my God. Got my coffee. This is not an easy day. When I know it's not going to be an easy day and my students are going to struggle, I need Dunkin' Donuts to help me help them. Drink Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, my God. Nailed another commercial. All right, whatever. I'm never going to make any money at commercials. I'm not an actor. Mr. Key is here to help ye with math. Let's get going. So we've already done problems like this. Let's try to remind ourselves how we do it. We got 3 equations. Well, the first thing I want to do, personally, I want to know what the answers are. I want to figure out what x equals, what y equals, and what z equals. So I'm going to start with the answers, and that way when I'm done, I know. Now, for those of you that don't have this calculator, there are other ways to do it using other calculators. I can't necessarily help you with those because I don't know exactly how they do them. So I'm going to do it on the TI Inspire, and let's see how we go. All right, so I go to Menu, Algebra. Shoot, I hate when that happens. Menu, Algebra, solve a system of equations. Come on, find it. And then solve a system of linear equations. Boom, there we go. We got 2 equations. Call it x, y, and z. Hit yes. And now I got to type it in. 2x plus 3y, 2x plus 3y minus z. I don't know why I'm in caps mode. That bothers me. 3x. 2x plus 3y minus z equals 5. Next one, 4x minus y, 4x minus y minus z equals -1. Never know if it's going to be the right negative or not. And then the last one is x plus 4y, x plus 4y plus z equals 12. Hit enter. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Come on, really? It can't be that easy. 1, 2, and 3. So apparently those are what my answers are. Now here's how we're going to do this. We're going to take a look at these. Now I'm looking, I think z looks like it's probably the easiest to get rid of. So I'm going to multiply this one through by -1. Just the second equation, this one right here. So I've got 2x plus 3y equals, oops, forgot the minus z. Minus z equals 5. Now remember, we want a pair of opposites. That's why we're doing this. -4x plus y. Notice we're going to distribute that negative here. Plus z, going to distribute that negative here. And then equals +1. Don't forget, we still got to distribute that negative here as well. Remember, I got to distribute everywhere. Got an equal opportunity distributor. So -2x, our goal is to eliminate one of the variables. Plus 4y equals 6. So there's one of my equations. Now I'm going to bust a move and get the other one. Oh yeah, Mr. Krause, bust a move, you crazy Krause. What in the hell happened to my problem? There we go. Whew. Got a little nervous there, kids. All right, so now I'm going to take these two. Now these two I just have to add. I don't have to do anything because these are already opposites. So I'm just going to add them as they stand. 5x, just the second two, plus 3y equals 11. So now I'm going to take these two and do that same method, and I'm going to eliminate. So I'm going to put this one. So here we go. We got -2x plus 4y equals 6, and 5x plus 3y equals, I don't know why I did that, equals 11. Try to blow it up a little bit, but all right, let's move over. All right, so now this is what we're going to solve. Now, I want these two numbers in front to be opposites. In fact, so I want this to be a -10 and this to be a +10. And if I can do that, I'm all set. I'm in pretty good shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this whole equation by 5 and this whole equation by 2. That'll give me my pair. Now, don't forget, you got to multiply both sides. So we got -10x plus 4, oops, What am I doing? Plus 20y equals 30. And then we're going to get positive 10x plus 6y equals 22. So I get 26y equals 52. I divide by 2, and I get y equals 2. All that work to find out that y equals 2. Ka-ching, I'm good. So I'm in pretty good shape now, so I'll take this y equals 2, and I'm going to plug it back into this equation to figure out what x is. All right, so 5x plus 3, and we found out y was 2, is equal to 11. So this is really 6. I'll subtract 6 from both sides. So I get 5x equals 5, or x equals 1. Ooh, almost done. X equals 1. My last goal is to find out what z equals. And I'm actually going to look at these equations. I like to pick the one that's all positive. So if I take this equation, it's all positives. I'm going to work in just that one. So x plus 4y plus z equals 12. I already found x was 1. I already found y was 2. I just need to find out what z is. And hopefully z turns out to be 3. So this is 6 plus 1. Oh, this is 8 plus 1. Ooh, got a little nervous there. 8, 6. This is 8 plus 1. That's 9 plus z equals 12. Subtract 9, I get z equals 3. So that is something we did way back in Unit 1. 3 equations, 3 unknowns. I set up the equations for you, and you solve them. Guess what, children? Playtime is over. By the way, there are the directions on how to solve using the TI Inspire. Quick directions on how to get those. We've got those, and now we're ready to rock and roll. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Lovely. All right, let's get through this. So what I want you to do is I want you to find the equation in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c that satisfies these 3 points. So in effect, what I'm saying is you have these 3 points. -1, -3, 0, -4, and 2, 6. So somehow they make a parabola. I'm not really sure how, but they make a parabola. And I need to find the equation of that very specific parabola that goes through these 3 points. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what does this have to do with 3 equations and 3 unknowns? This is a parabola. I just graph it. No, not so easy, huh? So let's take a look at it. Here's what we got. We've got a point here. What we're going to do at this point is we're going to plug it into this equation. All right, so in for y goes -3. In for x goes -1. So a times -1 squared plus b times -1 plus c. Or, and again, we're using, and I probably should have put this over here, we're using the point -1, -3. We're plugging this in. So -3 is equal to a minus b plus c. Now the reason it's a is because -1 squared is 1. All right, so there's one equation. Now we're going to use the next point. The next point is 0, -4. Uh-oh, 0 makes it easy. You'll see why in a second. So -4 is equal to a times 0 squared plus b times 0 plus c. Well, whoa, what do you know? -4 is equal to c. I already know that. Wow, that's freaking awesome. Awesome, baby. Let's try the last point, 2, 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug 6 in for y equals a times 2 squared plus b times 2 plus c. Or in other words, 6 is equal to 4a plus 2b plus c. So there are my three equations. Now that second one is an equation. It's just really easy. Why am I talking like this? It's really weird. I'm just gonna keep talking like that. But I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use my calculator to do the same thing. So I'll go to menu, algebra, solve a system of equations, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna use 3. And this time we're gonna use A, comma, B, comma, C. Weren't those the two? A, comma, B. I want to find A, B, C. So I'm gonna do it that way. So let's see, A minus B plus C, A minus B plus C equals -3. Negatives are hard to put in. I'm going to put them in this way. This one is C equals -4. That one's kind of boring. And the last one is 4A plus 2B plus C equals 6. Well, there's my equations. A is 2, B is 1, C is -4. So I've already can start out with that information. Do in black. So A is 2, B is 1, and C is -4. Now, while I'm out here, I'm going to already write the answer down. Now, the answer says find the equation. So if you don't actually give me the answer, see, I'm talking weird, you're not going to be right. So I got to figure out, this is my answer right here. This is going to be my answer. Y equals 2x squared plus b, plus x. Now, I could put 1x there, -4, right? In for A is 2, in for B is 1, and in for C is x. Now, I want to triple check to make sure I got this right. So I'm going to go back to my calculator. I'm going to go into graph mode. And I'm going to just type this thing in. 2x squared plus x minus 4, enter. There's my whatever that is. Oh, that's a line. You see, I forgot the squared part. Kind of important. Hit the squared part. Otherwise, it's kind of useless. That's why it turned out to be a line instead of a parabola. There it is. So there's my parabola. But I really want to make sure I'm right. I'm going to go to the table, Control T. And I say, okay, I need to find -1, -3. See, there it is right there. -1, -3, -1, -3. I need to find 0, 4. There's 0, 4, 0, 4, 0, 4. And then right here is 2, 6. So all 3 of the points that were over here, in this area right here, are in my table. So I know I'm correct. But that doesn't mean I can stop. I still have to find out how to solve this algebraically. Sorry about that. Luckily for us, this was a really easy equation. It already gave us what that is. Okay, so I'm going to plug that into the other 2 equations just because I already know it. Well, I already know this one. I'm going to plug it into this equation, and I'm going to plug it into this equation. So what we're going to have is -3 equals A minus B minus 4. Let me solve that. I'll add 4 to both sides. So I get 1 is equal to A minus B. And over here, if I plug it in, so that's one of my equations. My other equation is going to be 6 equals 4A plus 2B minus 4. I'll add 4 to both sides. So I get 10 equals 4A plus 2B. So now I'm going to work with these 2 equations and use the elimination method on them. So 1 equals, now if I just take this equation right here and multiply it by 2, notice I'll have -2b here and +2b, or not to be. That's the question. So we're going to multiply through by 2. So 2 equals 2a minus 2b. And the other equation I'm not going to touch. 10 equals 4a plus 2b, excuse me. Might be coming down with a cold. Notice this is opposites, so they just go away when I add, and I get 12 is equal to 6a, or a is equal to 2. Well, ka-ching, that's what I have right here. And I already have this. So my last thing is I got to figure out what b is. So I'm going to take this 2 and plug it into this equation. So 1 is equal to 2 minus b. Well, doesn't that big B just 1? Because 2 minus 1 is 1. Ka-ching. And there's my answer. All right, so that was a kind of an easy one. Let's work on a little bit more of a difficult one. All right, let's see what we got. Now, if you think you can set up the equations without me, go ahead and do so. I'll just sit here and make funny faces. Can't make funny faces when you're drinking coffee, especially from Dunkin' Donuts. Let's work with this point. -1, you probably still need my help. -1, -1. So we're going to still use this equation, the general form of a quadratic. There it is. So we're going to say -1, that's the y value, is equal to a times -1 squared. Remember, this is my x and this is my y, so I'm going to plug those in for x and y. Plus b times -1 plus c. So this is -1 equals a minus b plus c. So there's my first equation. Now let me grab a different color. Now I'm going to work with 111. Well, that makes things easier too. 11 is equal to a times 1 squared plus b times 1 plus c. Or in other words, 11 is equal to a plus b plus c. There's equation 2. Final equation, we'll do this in purple. It's 3, 7. So we'll put in 7 is equal to a times 3 squared plus b times 3 plus c. Or in other words, 7 is equal to 9a plus 3b plus c. So those are my 3 equations. Let me write them over here. -1 equals a minus b plus c. 11 equals a plus b plus c. Sorry about this. And the last one is 7 equals 9a plus 3b plus c. So here's what I want to do. And this first thing I want to do is figure out if I can get the right answer. Gosh, bless it. I want to know what the answers are. I want to know what a is. I want to know what b is. And I want to know what c is. So I'm going to actually use my calculator to give me that. Go away. I'm going to figure out what that is. So, get out. Go away. Don't want to see you. Here. Menu. Algebra. Solve a system of linear equations, 2 equations. Call it a comma b comma c. Click OK. So a minus b plus c. A minus b plus c equals -1. -1. Enter. A plus b plus c. A plus b plus c equals 11. Next equation. 9a plus 3b. 9a plus 3b plus c equals 7. Hit enter. There are my 3 answers. A is equal to -2. B is equal to 6. And C is equal to 7. So when I'm done, I'm hoping those are my answers. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to give my final answer to this question. Here's the answer. Y equals -2x squared plus 6x plus 7. There it is. There's my final answer. Wait, am I right? Let's check real quick. I want to check. So I go in here, go into graph mode. -2x squared plus 6x plus 7. Enter. Go to the table, Control T. Do I see -1, -1? There it is. Do I see 111? There it is. Do I see 37? There it is. So I know I'm right. But now I got to do it algebraically, and that's the tricky part. Notice that in every case, the C is always 1. So I just take this one and I multiply through by -1. I'll have positive C here and negative C here and positive C here. So I'm going to group these first two together. -1 plus -1 equals A minus B plus C. Now don't forget, you're going to distribute the -1 to everybody. So -11 equals -A minus B minus C. Put these together, I get -12 equals, whoa, wait, A's go and C's go. That's beautiful. -2 B. Oh, let me just finish that. -2B divided by -2, I get B equals 6. I can already mark one off. That doesn't happen that often, but boy, am I glad it did. So now, even though I multiplied through these one by negative, I can combine these two, even doing the same work. I'm going to multiply that second one through by -1. So let's do that. So let me just grab a different color, green. So -11 equals -A minus B minus C. And the second equation is 7 equals 9A plus 3B plus C. Well, I got to add these up now. I don't get as easy. These ones go away. So I get -4 is equal to 8A plus 2B. But I already know what B is, so I'm just going to plug that in. That's my goal. So I get -4 equals 8A plus 2 times 6. Well, if you know, you can see this. This is just 12. I'll subtract 12. Subtract, I don't know why I put that big thing there. Subtract 12. So I get -16 is equal to 8A. Divide by 8, divide by 8. That's an 8. And I get A equals -2. Is that what I had before? A equals -2. We're in good shape. So the last thing I want to do is I would grab this equation. It's the easiest. It's all plus. And I'd say, okay, 11 is equal to A, which is -2, plus B, which is 6, plus C, I don't know. So I get 11 equals, let's see, -2 plus 6 is 4. Plus C. Subtract 4 from each side, and I get C equal to 7. Ka-ching! Yay! Done! That's it! All done. And I don't have to do any more work, because I actually have my answer. My answer is right here. And actually, this is my answer. This is the final answer right here. This is part of my work, but here, I'll highlight it. This is my answer, because it's asking for, what is the equation? Let's do another one. All right, I think we're going to get a little bit more tricky. I don't think we're going to get as easy of ones, those ones. So let's see. Let's just set the equations up first. So I'm going to use -629. It already sounds nasty. -629. So 29 is equal to A -6 squared plus B times -6 plus C. Let's clean this up. 29 is equal to 36A minus 6B plus C. First equation. Grab a different color. Next one is -412. Doesn't seem as bad. 12 is equal to A. Now, just be really careful of these negative. That's why I keep putting them in parentheses. -4 squared is +16. But positive B times -4 is -4B. Just be really careful with those negatives. So I end up with 12 equals 16A minus 4B plus C. There's equation number 2. Notice every single time we have just a lone C. That actually makes things a little bit easier. So now we're going to use this point 2, -3. So -3 goes in for Y. A times 2 squared, that's nice, plus B times 2 plus C. Or negative 3 is equal to 4A plus 2B plus C. So I know that I'm going to take these two and put them together. I need a pair of opposites. So I'm going to take the middle one, because it's the easiest, and I'm going to multiply it through by negative 1. Because that'll give me a negative C for use with this one and for this one when I do this one. So first one I'm not going to change anything. 29 is equal to 36. Oh wait, those are my three equations. I want to know what my answer is. I want to know, before I do any more work, what is A equal to, what is B equal to, and what is C equal to, and more importantly, what's my final answer? While we were gone there for a second, I decided to type these three equations in so that we could save a little bit of time. Hit enter. Oh my gosh, it must be wrong. I have a fraction. I don't want a fraction. That's terrible. All right, let's see what we got. A is 3/4. B is negative 1. And C is negative 4. Now, if this is correct, then my answer is 3/4 x squared minus x minus 4. That should be my final answer. That just doesn't seem right. It can't be right. Let's check this out. Let's go into graph mode. 3/4, control division. 3/4 x squared minus x minus 4. Enter. All right. Oh, let's check it out. We got to go to the table. Control T. Let's see if I did this right. So I should be able to find negative 629. There it is. Right there, negative 629. And I also need to find negative 412. Oh, there it is, negative 412. And 2, negative 3. There it is, 2, negative 3. So hey, okay, so it's weird. So when I end up finding A, I'm going to end up with a fraction. That's not a lot of fun. But that's okay, we'll be all right. So 36A minus 6B plus C. Now remember, we said we're going to multiply the second equation by negative 1. So negative 12 equals negative 16. Remember, everything gets multiplied by it. So plus 4B minus C. All right, so I get, let's see, what's this? 1, 7 equals 2, 0A minus 2B. All right, there's one of my equations. Now, the good news is I already multiplied this second equation by negative 1. So I got negative 12 equals negative 16A plus 4B minus C. And then this one I'm just going to bring over. Negative 3 equals 4A plus 2B plus C. Now I'll add these up. Negative 15 is equal to negative 12A plus 6B, and these go away. So those are now my two new equations. Let me write them over here. Negative 12. Oops. So negative 12. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I'm writing. I got to use this equation and this equation. So 17 equals 20A minus 2B. And then this is negative 15 is equal to negative 12A plus 6B. I think it's pretty obvious if I multiply this one by 3, I get rid of the B's. So let's do that. Ooh, that's deadly though. That's deadly. You'll see why in a second. So I get 51 is equal to 60A minus 6B. Second one I just copied down. Negative 15, because I'm not doing anything to that. Negative 12A plus 6B. Well, notice the B's cancel. And I end up with, let's see, 50 minus 15 would be 35. So this would be 36 is equal to 48A. Divide by 48, divide by 48. Now, if you put this in your calculator, and I'm not going to waste your time, it would say the answer is 3/4. Now, if you didn't already know that you were going to be expecting a fraction there, you might be a little dismayed by that. But hey, we want 3/4. That's our first answer. There it is. All right. So no crying about having to work with fractions. We're going to take this baby and we're going to plug it back into, I don't know, let's plug it back into this equation. Negative 15 is equal to negative 12 times 3/4 plus 6b. Now, you may not know it, but negative 12 times 3/4 is negative 9 plus 6b. Now, this you just put in your calculator. Add 9 to both sides, and I get 6 is equal to 6b, so b equals 1. I hope that's what I have up here. Oh, I got a small problem. I only got negative 1. So what's going on here? I don't know. I thought I had 1. I mean, I came up with 1, but I found out and I checked that it should be negative 1. So where did I make my mistake? And it's right here. And that's one of the reasons why you want to go through and find those answers ahead of time, because sometimes mistakes are hard to find. Negative 15 plus 9 is negative 6, which means this is negative 1. Okay, but we already have the answer, so it's really easy to check. So now I'm going to go back to one of my original equations. I'm going to try to find this one. I'm going to use this one right here because it's almost all positives. So I'll use that one, plus I can see it when I come over here. And I'll go negative 3 is equal to 4 times 3/4. That makes that easy. Plus 2 times negative 1 plus c. So negative 3 is equal to 1 minus 2 plus c. Negative 3 is equal to negative 1 plus c. Add 1 to both sides, and I get 2 is equal to c. Oh, wait, maybe it's negative 2. Let's see what we got. Negative 4. All right, I made another dumb. This one I didn't do on purpose. This one's just a dumb mistake. Oh, man. This is just a dumb mistake. I actually didn't mean to do this one on purpose, but I'm glad I found it because I ended up being the wrong answer, and I didn't mean to. Negative 3. This, if you put in your calculator, is equal to 3, not 1. So 3 minus 2 plus c. So negative 3 equals 1 plus c. Subtract 1. Subtract 1, I get c equals negative 4. And there we go. In fact, I have the right answer. So I hope I was trying to drive the point home when I purposely made the mistake on this one. But I accidentally made a mistake on this one and got the wrong answer. But notice how finding my answers ahead of time really helps me not make a mistake. And then when I get through the algebra, I'm really excited when I get the right answers. And that's it for that problem. So I'm going to make a suggestion to you. First of all, hit that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. Tell me how much you love this video. Okay, you don't love the video. But tell me how much it helped you or didn't help you. But my suggestion to you right now is pause the video. Go through, try to create the 3 equations with these points. And then scrub through the video and see if you got the same 3 equations. If you did, pause the video, try to solve those, and see if you get the same answers as I do. Okay? And you can go all the way to the end. If you get the answers, you don't have to watch this. Now, if you made a mistake, then you're going to have to watch it. Okay? So I would pause it right now. There you go. Take a screenshot of that. Oh yeah. Oh, come on, it's on the outside. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to get going. You should pause. Okay, that was my crazy faces. Here we go. 1, negative 4. Now I'm going to speed up things a little bit. Negative 4 is equal to 1 squared is 1, so this just becomes a, plus 1 times b is b plus c. So there's my first equation. My second equation is negative 3, negative 16. So in 4, here I'm going to plug in negative 16. Negative 3 squared is 9, so this becomes 9a. Negative 3 times b is minus 3b plus c. Now I'm doing the same thing I did before, but I'm using the gray matter. Final point is 7, 14. So I'll put in 14 here is equal to 7 squared is 49. So this is 49a plus 7b plus c. So those are my 3 equations. Hopefully you got those right. If you didn't, see if you can find your mistake. Hopefully you did. I didn't exactly show all my work. I'm going to get my answers because I really like having my answers before I continue. So let's go through menu, algebra, solve systems, dunk, A, comma, B, comma, C. You could use X, Y, Z and just stay with it. It just makes it easier. -4. A plus B plus C equals -4. 9A minus 3B. 9A minus 3B plus C equals -16. And 49A plus 7B plus C equals 14. All right. Ooh, that's weird. So what? All right, I'm not going to lie. This is a really bad example because this should not have happened. A equals 0. B equals 3. And C equals -7. This really should not have happened because y equals 0x squared plus 3x minus 7. So this really ends up being y equals 3x minus 7. That's a linear equation, not a quadratic. And I bet if I graphed it, if I go over here and graph it, 3x minus 7, I'm going to find all 3 of those points are on that line. Control T. There's one -4. There's -3, -16, and I got to go find 7, 14. I'm not sure why I picked this one, but this is a really bad example. But it turns out to be linear. I still should be able to do it. So let's do this. I'm going to multiply this one through by -1. So I get -4 equals A plus B plus C. 16 equals -9A minus plus 3B minus C. Let's put these babies together. I get 12 equals -8A plus 4B. All right, this is my first equation. So I still have, let's see, 16 is equal to -9A plus 3B plus C. 14 is equal to 49A plus 7B plus C. Wait a second, I can't plus C here. This has to be minus C. Minus C. So 30 equals 40A plus 10B. Okay, so now we're going to put these together. So let's see, what can I multiply by? I'm going to multiply this equation by 5, because that will give me -40A there, and I have +40A there. So 60 is equal to -40A plus 20B, and 30 is equal to 40A plus 10B. So this is 90 is equal to 30B, or B is equal to 3, which we knew. Ba-ching. Let's go find A. So I'm going to plug this right into here. 30 is equal to 40a plus 10 times 3. Well, that's 30. I subtract 30, and I get 0 is equal to 40a, or a is equal to 0. Now I take both of these suckers and put them back into this equation. Negative 4 is equal to 0 plus 3 plus c. Well, that's just 3. I subtract 3, I get negative 7 is equal to c. Kind of a dumb way to end the problems. I think I should need to take that one out of there. But anyway, it's a linear equation, not a quadratic. And that ends the lesson for the day. Goodbye.